I am Robbie Zein. I don't know if you know me or not. So I'm a daughter of a civil engineer. I lived everywhere. My dad traveled all over Europe, North America, and the Middle East. So I lived life in transition. I grew up that way. And a lot of the people that you meet here at the fair either grew up like that or like you, they're moving now, right? And when you move a lot, you face a lot of transition or changes. So I look at these changes, I look at how we can make them fun and joyful and how we can dance with life instead of fight with it. So basically, when I came to The Hague years ago, same as you, well, many of you now that just came here, I started the same, counseling and working with children. I get a call from this one family in panic, right? This American family that moved to Holland, and they tell me that he's so hyper, there's so many problems, they're really scared because the school said if he does not fix his behavior as soon as possible, he really needs to be medicated or something to control his hyperactive behavior. I start working with the child, and within 2 to 3 weeks, everything changed. He's at school, he's happy, he's performing. The school is wondering, how did you fix his problems? The parents are asking me, how did you fix his problems? I don't fix problems. I fix thinking. That's what I do. The problems fix themselves. And that was the beginning of everything, because once I saw that I can do this with one child, I started doing it in groups for children. And once those grew, I started making programs for children. When those grew, I had to hire people to help me do these for children. And eventually I had a center for children, for daycare, childcare, after school care, camps. And then we started working with the parents. And the parents started to ask for more help. Because it doesn't matter if you're working with children or adults, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're working with parents who are parenting or you're working with a team, because it's leadership. Parenting is leadership. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is a way of thinking. Because like I said, I have a very limited amount of time, 20 minutes. I'm going to talk quickly about them and just touch on them, and then whatever questions or whatever intrigues you, that something that you want to ask, you can ask it. Otherwise, when we're out of time, just email me and I'll answer you directly, okay? So we start with the first thing, and I will move slides. These are transition stages, and when I say transition stages, it means transitioning from one thing to the other. I don't want to say country, because immediately people are like, oh yeah, this is when you're moving from country to country. Yes, definitely. And the few of you now that said to me you're just moving and whatnot, I think you would recognize this very well, because there's always a bit of grief when you're leaving a place and anxiety. Then there's the excitement about arriving the new place. And then there is the change that you have to face. The new country may have a new culture, new food, especially the Greeks that I meet here. They all hate the food in Holland. So the food is new, the joking is new, the weather is new, the smell of the air is new. You're removed from your environment. You don't have your friends or your family there. So that makes you vulnerable as well. Everything is new. Once you settle, then you may have to move again. If you're a person who is in an international job, who moves regularly, this is what you're going to face again and again and again. Some people choose to live life in one place, happily ever after. That's fine. There is no such thing anyway as happily ever after, because these stages are stages of transition regardless, because you have them in jobs, you have them in schools, you have them in everywhere. Right? You can even apply this to ending a relationship and starting a new one. It's applicable to any transition. So these are just stages that we constantly go through. Why I start with this is because these points that you see here all lead to one thing. And I'm wondering if one of you knows what I mean. What is the one thing I'm talking about that they all have in common? These. Anyone take a guess? Emotions, thank you. You get a choice from my book. Well done you. They lead to emotions. Fear is an emotion, change is an emotion, excitement is, they all are emotions, right? Now, society as we have it When you have a happy, positive emotion, that's fantastic. When you are in fear or worried or scared or crying or teary, it's not. It's frowned upon, right? It's so important in order to succeed or to achieve what you want to achieve, to acknowledge your feelings and deal with your feelings and process your feelings, happy or not. This is not to say that if you're anxious when you move here, or you already now 1 month you said in the Netherlands, this is not to say that to sit here and grieve for a month. You still want to be excited. You might want to cry a day because you miss somebody, or maybe suddenly the excitement fades away because you're thinking, gosh, this is so much work. I didn't expect it to be this hard, right? You may have the ups and downs. What I'm saying is you have to experience emotion at its best. Give yourself permission to laugh, to cry, to be tired, to be irritated, to be worried, because you're human, you're not a machine. And if we suppress our emotions, we depress our emotions. And after a while, it becomes depression. Whatever you're feeling right now will become depression if you keep suppressing. Suppress, depress, right? So that is one of the most important things to keep in mind when you are moving, again, not country to country only, relation to relation, job to job, school to school, right? It's these sort of stages we go in. Okay, change. So the basic rule in life is change. I constantly say this line, like I constantly repeat. The thing is, we hate change. Yup, we hate change. Right? If you notice your routine, you want to wake up and have breakfast at the same kind of thing. On Sunday, do the same kind of thing, Same people, repetition, same. You can come sit here if you want. You can sit here. So you do the same thing. This is my son, by the way. So it's repetition, right? We like repetition. We don't like change. Change has something that's scary for us. Okay, so we need to learn to adapt to change. Why? Because life is change. Nothing is forever. The illusion that you have something forever, it's ridiculous. Nothing is forever. Your job is not forever. Security doesn't exist. Your life is not forever. Your friends, until they age or you move, or maybe they're not your friends after a while. Your relationship, you don't know who's going first or what's going to happen. Nothing is forever. And when you know that nothing is forever, you make the best of everything now, right? It's sort of like you walk across and you see a flower. Wow, it's beautiful. Do you want to admire the flower and smell it and take a picture, or do you want to ignore it because one day it will wither and die? Is it guaranteed to stay like this forever? That sort of thought, right? Then keep what you can the same. How can you adapt to change? Knowing that we are creatures of habit and we don't like change. How can we adapt? One is, you see it? I have it right there. It's reflecting. Keep what you can the same. Routines of your life, things that you usually do. I don't know if you talk to your grandma every Sunday, if you can Skype or whatnot, you could do that. If you have children who are missing certain things, keep what you can the same. If you always had plants in the kitchen, put plants in your new kitchen. That sort of small, tiny things that will give you comfort. Then make fun of it, or make jokes about it with friends and family, right? You can talk about life joyfully, or you can complain about everything as you go through your day. Or you can actually say, oh my gosh, this and this happened. Can you believe they do that in Holland? How funny is that, right? There's enough to laugh about. Every culture has enough to laugh about. So choose to laugh than to complain. Complaining has this heavy energy that will drag your spirit down over time. Yeah? Another one is tell yourself it's only change. You are safe. And why I repeat this line constantly when I'm working with kids, because I know that the source of fear, why we hate change, is because we feel that we're unsafe. There's this feeling of, what's going to happen now? There's change. Something changed. It's not the same anymore. And I know the way it was the same, the way it was before, that was comfortable. So then we start to worry. I am safe. You can choose to live life in a way where you are just the acting person and life is telling you what to do, or your boss is the producer, or your colleagues are your... Choose to be the producer. You step out of your house. Mindset is, it's a school out there. I am going out there and I am going to ask questions. Is this what I want? Is this not what I want? Do you want me to do this? Why do you want me? Take action and feel like you are the producer. And the last one is straightforward. Sleep. It's the biggest thing that every client I've ever worked with has lacking is sleep. Sleep, number one most important thing. If you don't sleep, you don't charge your battery. If you don't charge your battery, you're functioning on a minimum or half full. Your capacities are not at their best. Your mood is low. Your attention span is lower. Your irritation is higher. And people think, I get so many people, they're like, no, I need to get up early, I need to do this and this and this and this and this and this and that. Quality over quantity. You can accomplish 10 times more when you've slept enough, and when your mind is clear, and when your emotions are stable, and when your irritation is lower. So sleep, eating, of course, healthy eating, not lots of junk, and relax. I give myself permission to relax. I literally teach students at university to say that. I give myself permission to relax. Relax. So important. Yes? Okay. Why cry? Stress release methods. Another one that I talk about a lot. Here you can see 5 stress release methods, and these are things that we are born with. These aren't, sorry, is the light in your face? Do you want me to turn it? You okay? Yeah? Okay. I see you. Okay, good. These are release methods that we are born with. These aren't things, because people tell me, oh yeah, but when I'm stressed, I go jogging. Jogging is one of them. And that's an action you physically take. These happen naturally. When your human body or your avatar is under stress, and that happens regularly, because that's the nature of life, right? You're going to get hit by a challenge. After every time you deal with a challenge, another one will pop. If there's no challenge, there's no life. That's what life is, just all about challenges and working through challenges, right? So that means your stress levels will go up and down regularly. See yourself as a cup, right? That fills up. You get up in the morning, you go, you want to get the job, you didn't get the job, it fills up a little bit. Your mom calls, your auntie's sick, you can't visit her, she lives in Greece, it fills up a little bit. You wanted to go buy something, the supermarket is too crowded, it fills up a little bit. Next day you get up, it's raining. Second day you get up, it's raining. Third day you get up, it's raining. It never stops raining in the Netherlands. Welcome to the reality. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you as it is. That cup fills up, and then comes this moment when, I don't know, you watch a silly commercial or some movie, or your friend says something and you start weeping like crazy. And your friend is like, oh my God, what the heck is wrong with you? It isn't this final joke or whatever happened. It is the full cup now that's going to pour, to empty and release your stress. This is why when I work with children, especially ones in transition like yours, I say, when you see your little one crying, cuddle them, say, I'm sorry for your sadness, but don't stop the crying. Because when you stop the crying, you're not fixing everything that happened in the cup. You're actually just stopping the cup from emptying. And you want that cup to be empty, so he's ready to go again. If we don't empty that cup regularly, we end up with all kind of things, heart attacks, high blood pressure, depression, you name it. Stress will pile up. And as stress comes, we must release. You can choose to release in any of these ways. Some people tell me, no, I'm not a crier. I hate the crying thing. I want to do that. That's fine. Watch a very funny movie and you'll start laughing so hard you can't breathe when you're stressed. The crying is exactly the same as laughing. If you start laughing so hard that tears go down and your friends are like, what are you laughing about? It's not even funny. Stop, You're actually crying, but you're laughing it out. It's the same thing. It's a release method. Shaking. Have you ever Yeah, right? Before exams or a job interview or whatever, you start shaking. Again, your body's releasing stress. That's fine. Fantastic. You don't have to book a doctor appointment. You don't have to medicate yourself. You're releasing. Beautiful. Natural release methods. If your son is shaking, please don't take him to a doctor. It's normal. These are all normal. Yawning. When we yawn a lot, right? We may have slept enough, but the whole day you're yawning. That's your body saying, I'm overloaded. I'm needing to, you know? I bet you if I yawn now, a lot of you will start yawning. So I won't, but you should when you leave here. Yawn if you can. And last but not least, sweating. And I don't mean the sweating from the lights like I am right now. I mean sweating as in, I don't know if ever you give a lecture and your hands get wet or you're too stressed and your armpits and right, that kind of sweating, then you know after an interview, oh my gosh, I'm sweating a lot. Okay, I'm stressed, I feel it. So acknowledging that you're stressed. What do you do when these things happen? Don't block them, don't stop them. Empty your cup, let it be ready so it can fill up again. And I get a question very often from students, how often do I have to do this? Well, I don't know. It depends on your life. Are you in transition between jobs? Are you in transition between relationships? Are you divorcing? Are you going to university? Are you having a baby? I don't know what's going on in your life. It depends what's going on in your life, and it depends on the speed of it happening to you in your life. How much is happening in what period? Sometimes when transition is happening, I see people who do so much in 4, 5, 6 months. Oh my gosh, it's a lifetime. Other times it's not the case. They take their time. So that means the cup of the person who is dealing with a lot at once will fill and empty, fill and empty, fill and empty. This is really important for you to understand because this applies to your colleagues at work. If suddenly you're thinking, I don't know what's wrong with this colleague, I can't stand him, he's constantly irritated, he's constantly this, you don't know. It may be not only the job, maybe his dad is sick, maybe something else is going on, maybe. You don't know how full his cup is. So this kind of makes you understand the environment around you, that it isn't that, oh, why is he like that? Is it me? Is it, everyone has a cup. And at all times, that cup is either empty, filling up, halfway, almost full, or, and you know, do you know explosive people that sometimes you meet on the street and they just want to pick a fight, or they want to, you know, the minute you smile at them, they start tearing up and they want to cry, or if you give your friend a hug because she's acting weird and she starts sobbing, that's the full cup, when we become so extremely at tip-top. Now, the beauty of it is children, for your son, they do it so quickly, so beautifully, constantly. They could unload, their cup can go on and off every day, once or twice, easy. But for adults, I say once a month, once every few months. Please don't let it last longer because that is really suppression, which leads to depression. Please don't. And there is no such thing as, I don't have any stress in my life. There isn't, because if you think you don't have stress in your life, that means you're not, you're not identifying that it's a stress. Oh my gosh, we're one step back. Let's first identify what stresses you in your life, because guess what? You are alive. Happy, peaceful, joyful, and loving thoughts. Oh, I love this slide. It is my absolute favorite one. And my team member Vincenzo put this awesome picture with yellow. Yellow is my favorite color. Happy, peaceful, joyful, loving life. So words and feelings always match. Did you know this? It is impossible for me to be thinking something absolutely horrific. Think about a memory of something really bad that happened to you. Is it possible while you think of that to be feeling absolutely joyful and happy? Impossible. Impossible. And the other way is true. If I am thinking of the happiest memory in my life, think about the happiest, most joyful moment in your life. Is it possible to be feeling angry, stressed, and negative? It's not. So that means, conclusion is, thought and emotion will always match, which means to control or lead the way you feel, you can choose your thoughts. Ta-da! It's that easy. When you choose your thoughts, you choose your feelings. And you should choose your thoughts like you choose your clothes in the morning. Nobody's born happy with a smile from here to Hawaii. It is a choice that I make every morning to have a happy, good day. I make that, and you know what? It takes a superpower to do this. It's not easy to do. But when you choose this, you align. You align. If you are not choosing to be born, you're choosing to be dying. It's one or the other. You're here. Do you want to live it up and achieve? Or do you want to sit back and grieve? And wait. It's up to you. So it's that choice in the morning. This is not to say that during the day bad things won't happen and you'll have up and down and your cup and everything. But starting the day with a joyful, happy 5-10 minutes, and that choice of I'm grateful, I'm happy, I'm thankful is the best thing you can do for your being. Very simple tip. These are some affirmations that I often use, things like saying, I allow my experiences to be joyful today. Like you say that and you feel happy, literally. So these are things that you can literally say in your own mind, right? I love this one. I think peaceful thoughts. I have a peaceful body, right? I just tell it to myself because my brain needs to hear these things, because every thought will generate a feeling, and feelings will affect how physically healthy you are or not. Depressed people get really sick. Tips for healing and inner joy. Change it if you can. Leave it if you can't. Something bugging you, can you change it? Yes? Change it. Is your colleague really bothering you? Is the country you live in no good? Change it. You're not a tree. Pack up and move. Is your child misbehaving? Get help. Change it. You can't change it? Leave it. Anything in between is insanity. Temporary insanity. So don't drive yourself crazy. Don't drive yourself crazy. A lot of people are lingering in that gray space. Use positive language. I just mentioned it. Assign yourself one day a week if you can. This is especially for people with kids and families and you're juggling work and many things. One day only for you as a priority. Of course, you still be around the kids and the family and other things, but assign at least one activity. I done silly things as in get up one day and I'm like, Robbie, how can I make you happy today? Like a crazy person, I'm asking myself. And then I think, oh my gosh, I so wish I could go swimming. Well, guess what? There's a pool nearby. Let me go swimming. Like just that second to acknowledge that I want to do something for me. Really important. Okay, I'm going to move quickly because the time is almost over. We're almost, 3 minutes. So it's not about challenges in life, right? This is so important because I just said earlier, challenges are life. Life is a challenge, a big, big challenge. And every time you deal with a challenge and you fix it, guess what? A new one will come. And it'll be one level up. And then you'll get multiples, right? As you get older and older, people start aging, friends start getting sick, parents start dying. If you reach the age of 30, and you're not yet depressed, you made it. I mean, I'm just saying. We have enough reason to be depressed by the time we're 30 if we choose to. So it's not about the challenges in life, it's about how you deal with them. With a smile, with a joy, with exercise, with sleep. What I said earlier, I don't fix problems, I fix thinking. Problems fix themselves. And this is the mentality that one would use. I've written here something about this saying that I once read, and this person, I don't know who it is, but they've written, I've suffered many catastrophes and most of them never happened. I found it so powerful, and I thought I want to mention it today because we all do that. We all worry about what if and how, and I myself, right, today, I had to do this talk, and it's at the end of the day. We started at we left the house around 8:30 or something, because here we had to already set up the stands at 9 and whatnot. I spend most of Thursday worrying about my team. I love my team. My videographer, this awesome man, my photographer, this awesome woman, and my colleagues, and Vincenzo who made this, and everybody. I spend most of that evening worrying about how they're going to cope with all this noise and the echo. It's in a church, for goodness sake. Usually when we do this, we're in a school setting, so it's not in a hall. I don't have to carry a microphone, the noise. And now we've worked hours. And I really worked myself up so much that I had to call a friend and talk through it of how panicked I was about how are they going to cope with that day. And then we come here and they're all so excited and happy. None of it happened. Okay, so enjoy everything while it lasts. And in closing, I want to say, if I was to leave you with one thing in life, find the joy and spread the joy. And go after life ambitiously. Ambitiously. Ambition is beautiful. Go after your job ambitiously. Go after your relationship ambitiously. Ambition means you have a drive, you have passion, you want to fix things, you want to learn things, you want to achieve things, you want to live life for the fullest, for the best thing. It's like you buy a ticket to Spain and you get there and you're so excited and then it turns out it's not what you expected. Hey, but guess what? You're stuck there for a week. You're going to sit in the hotel and weep? Or you're going to go out and try to make the best out of it? Same thing. You're here. Welcome to planet Earth. I hereby welcome you all. You have a long journey ahead of you. There'll be tears, there'll be laughter, there'll be joy, there'll be loss. Some of you will achieve amazing things in life. Keep on dreaming. If you don't dream, if your dream doesn't keep you up at night, you're not dreaming big enough, because you can achieve it if you dream big and you're ambitious. So go after that mentality, set your thoughts that way, let it generate your feeling and go out there. And I promise you, with this kind of thought and these kind of emotions, you'll get the jobs you want. You'll grow because everybody wants to be around you. You become an awesome mom. Well, I'm sure you're already an awesome mom, but you show the future generation how to live life. It's a game. Learn how to play the game of life and do it joyfully. Yes? If you have questions, you can email me. I hereby check out. Thank you for attending.